Have you ever felt like studying in Europe is only for the rich, that maybe it's impossible to afford without heavy bank statements, IELTS, or massive tuition fees? What if I told you there's a European country that welcomes international students warmly, offers affordable education, allows part-time work, and even gives you a clear path to permanent residency? That country is Portugal, tucked quietly on the western edge of Europe. Portugal is one of the most peaceful, affordable, and immigrant-friendly countries you can move to in 2025, while everyone runs toward Canada, the UK, or Germany. Smart students are quietly choosing Portugal, because the rules here are simpler, the costs are lower, and the chances of long-term settlement are much higher. Let's start from the beginning. When you apply for a Portugal Study Visa, you're not just getting permission to study, you're opening the door to Europe, because once you have a Portuguese residence card, you can travel freely across all 27 Schengen countries. Now, how can you make this happen? It all starts with choosing the right university. In Portugal, there are more than 30 public and private universities that accept international students from Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, Nepal, the Philippines, and all across Asia. Some of the most popular ones are Backhand Index Pointing Right University of Lisbon, Backhand Index Pointing Right Polytechnic Institute of Porto, Backhand Index Pointing Right University of Coimbra, Backhand Index Pointing Right University of Algarve, Backhand Index Pointing Right Catholic University of Portugal. Most of these offer bachelor's and master's programs in English, especially in business, engineering, computer science, medicine, tourism, and environmental studies, and the tuition fees, surprisingly low. For public universities, it's usually between €1,500 to €3,000 per year. And for private universities, around €4,000 to €6,000. Even the living cost is affordable. If you live in Lisbon, Porto, or Coimbra, you'll spend around €400 to €700 per month, including rent, food, and transport. Now here's the part students love the most. You can work part-time legally while studying. That's right, up to 20 hours per week during the semester, and full-time during breaks. Many students work in cafes, supermarkets, delivery services, or even remote online jobs. On average, part-time jobs pay between €7 to €10 per hour, which means you can easily manage your living costs while studying, and after graduation, you can stay back and work full-time. Portugal offers something called the Job Search Visa, which gives you 1 to 2 years to find a job after completing your degree. Once you secure employment, you can convert it into a work visa and continue your stay. After 5 years of legal residence, you can apply for permanent residency, and soon after, citizenship. Yes, full European citizenship. That means visa-free access to the entire EU, UK, Canada, ETA, and Schengen zone. Now, let's talk about the visa process step by step. First, you need to apply to a recognized Portuguese university. Once you receive your acceptance letter, you prepare your documents: white heavy checkmark valid passport, white heavy checkmark educational certificates, white heavy checkmark proof of sufficient funds, around €6,000 to €8,000. White heavy checkmark health insurance, white heavy checkmark police clearance, white heavy checkmark accommodation proof in Portugal, white heavy checkmark, and a cover letter explaining your purpose of study. After preparing these, you book your appointment at the Portuguese Embassy or VFS Center in your home country. Visa approval time usually takes 4 to 6 weeks. Once your visa is approved, you'll receive a D4 study visa, which allows you to enter Portugal. After arriving, you must apply for your residence permit, Autorização de Residência, at SEF, the Immigration and Border Service. Now here's a tip most people don't know. If you apply for a university in interior or rural Portugal, you may get easier admission and cheaper rent, sometimes half the price compared to Lisbon or Porto. And if you ever plan to stay long-term, Portugal gives one of the fastest and simplest PR processes in Europe. Unlike other countries that make it hard, Portugal actually encourages foreigners who study and work legally to settle permanently. That's why thousands of international students, especially from South Asia, are now quietly choosing Portugal as their European dream country. let's talk about some real-life stories. Many students who went there on a student visa started part-time jobs, then found full-time work in IT, business administration, or hospitality. After 5 years, they got their permanent residency, and some even applied for citizenship, opening new opportunities all across Europe. It's a journey that starts small, with a visa application, but leads to an entirely new life. Portugal also has a calm, welcoming culture. People are warm, the food is amazing, and life moves at a slow, peaceful pace. Unlike crowded European cities, Portugal still feels human, safe, affordable, and filled with sunlight almost all year. If you want to start your search, here are some helpful official websites you can check. Backhand index pointing right, www.studyinportugal.edu.pt. For programs and admission info, backhand index pointing right, www.sef.pt. Official immigration and visa services, backhand index pointing right, www.unl.pt. University of Lisbon. All these links are also available in the description below. You can click and explore directly. So, if you're tired of visa rejections, expensive universities, and confusing systems, maybe it's time to think differently. Portugal isn't just another destination, it's a peaceful path, where you can study affordably, live freely, and grow steadily. And who knows, the journey that begins with a study visa might just end with a European passport in your hand. Stay connected, because this is Rao Amir Show, where I bring you real, practical, and emotional journeys, helping you find your place in the world. If this story touched you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because the next country I talk about might just become your new home abroad.